Now this game's heating up.
Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. Today I have another top tier deck to highlight, which is the Ezreal and TF combo deck. As of this recording, it is sitting at the second best deck, right behind Ashe and Sedge, which I already profiled. This deck aims to slow down the opponent's strategies with efficient removal early, while ramping up Ezreal's level up condition. With good resource management, this deck can easily take over the game as early as turn 3. This deck is very combo oriented and requires a flexible mindset to make it work. It's also important to know how to use the variety of removal tools. Being knowledgeable about the meta and which cards to hit with spells will make or break this deck. I want to run through my card choices, explain why they're in the deck, and give you the knowledge to pilot the deck yourself. The code for the deck will be in the description below. Before I get into the deck profile, if you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with my content. My current goal is just 1,000 subs and I'm only a couple hundred away, so it would be awesome if you joined. I also stream on Twitch regularly, so check me out over there if you want live gameplay of someone who's hit Master Tier during all 3 ranked seasons. With that, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. Another cool thing is that this is overall a relatively new deck, which means you might still catch some players off guard. The surprise factor can go a long way and net some convincing wins. So let's get into it. First, we have 3 Thermogenic Beam, the most flexible removal in the game. You can use it early on problematic units, or you can save up the mana and use it on much larger units and champions. The flexibility is really what makes this card shine. Next, we have 2 Warning Shots. So 3 I think is too much and kind of bricks your early hands. And of course you don't want to run it at 1, so 2 is the perfect number. It's really good for getting early plunder mechanics off with like Jagged Butcher or Black Market Merchant, so that's why it's in the deck. Also, we got triple Jagged Butcher, speaking of which. He's basically Cytheria with an added effect that he can also be a 3/3 on later turns. This is kind of relevant, but you can also do a really aggressive Warning Shot Jagged Butcher on turn 1. I've seen this work, but I wouldn't recommend it all the time. Next we have Zaunite Urchin. So this is a recently buffed card. She is now a draw on play, which makes her a really good 1-cost unit for decks that are trying to cycle through their cards. The draw also synergizes with Twisted Fate, helping him level up a little bit faster, and that can come up as well within a couple of games. Next we have 3 Black Market Merchant. Now this card did get hit to 1 HP, so he dies to Vile Feast and Static Shock and such, but he's still a really good card in NAB based decks, and this deck runs a small NAB package, so of course he's going to be included, and he can still give you like so much value. If you just get him plus 1 Pilfered Goods off, he pretty much pays for himself, so really good card in that regard. Next we have 3 Make It Rain, which is a really flexible early game removal spell. A really cool thing about Make It Rain is that each unit that it targets, up to 3, will also count towards Ezreal's level up condition. So Make It Rain by itself could technically be 3 of Ezreal's level up. That's kind of insane. So the synergy is there and the removal is there. That's why it's included. Next we have triple Mystic Shot. Really good removal spell, probably the best one aside from Thermogenic Beam. So Mystic Shot hits a lot of early game units, and it can be used in a variety of ways later to hit like exactly the amount of damage you need to finish off a unit. Next we have first champion Ezreal, who is a primary win condition for the deck. He is extremely insane, and he gets super enabled in this deck, I would say just as much as the Karma decks allowed in the past. This deck is really good if you like Ezreal. That's pretty much all there is to it. Next we have triple Petty Officer, and he recently got buffed as well, giving him 2 HP, makes him probably one of, if not the best 3 costs in the game in terms of value. Summoning a random 1-cost unit is really powerful, because sometimes you can hit Pool Shark, which is a free draw for you, and sometimes you can hit Hapless Aristocrat, which is 2 bodies, and you know the list goes on. There's a lot of good 1-drops. Like, oh my god, you love to see an Omen Hawk come out of this guy. So he provides so much pressure right on turn 3. That's why he's in here. Next we have double Pick a Card. Pick a Card is a really good recycle tool, but it really shines when you have Twisted Fate on the board, because this provides so much like threat. The opponent has to remove Twisted Fate, because if he actually gets his level up achieved through means of multiple pick cards or, you know, nabbing draws, then Twisted Fate counts as a secondary win condition. He provides so much power once he's leveled up. So pick a card, definitely deserving 2 spots in here. Next we have double Pilfered Goods and double Static Shock. Now I've seen these both run at 1, but I don't exactly see why when they're both relatively flexible and they give you resources. So in this list, I bumped each of them up to 2. Pilfered Goods is really good in conjunction with Black Market Merchant because then you can get the discount, but it's also good against like combo decks. You can take their pieces. The only thing I would be wary of is deep decks, right? So Pilfered Goods kind of helps against, like, it helps the deep deck if you're fighting them. You have to be careful because you can steal their sea monsters and stuff, which would put a damper on their strategy, but you're also like helping them get to deep faster, especially if you pick up one of their lower cost or more useless minions, then you're really only hurting yourself. And Static Shock is pretty good removal. It's really good at hitting, you know, random spiders, random 1 HP creatures, finishing off a creature that's already been damaged, and it's a draw 1. It's also 2 separate procs for Ezreal's level up, so that can come up as well. Next we have triple Twisted Fate, who is the secondary win condition like I mentioned earlier. If he does get leveled up, he's very powerful and really flexible right on turn 4. You can gold card hit some priority targets, or you can red card AoE the board and hit the enemy nexus. Blue card doesn't really come up too often, but it's there. That's the cool thing about Twisted Fate, is that he's one of the most flexible champions because you can do one of 3 different things right on summon. He impacts the board right away, which gives him a premier spot in this deck. Next we have triple Yordle Grifter. Try saying that 3 times fast. On summon he gives you a warning shot no matter what, but also if he allegiances and sees a Bilgewater card on the top of your deck, he also nabs 1. That effect, you know, it comes up, it's like a 50-50, it's whatever. If it happens, that's good, you get some value, unless you're against a deep deck again. But you also get the free warning shot, which comes up for Riptide Rex, which is your tertiary win condition. Riptide Rex is one of the most insane cards in the game. From ahead, he's pretty insane. I would say game ending. If you're behind and you play him, he can still salvage the board, but he's not as good, of course, as if compared to playing him from ahead. Another cool thing about Riptide Rex is that he does cast this Cannon Barrage 7 times. Each of those do target for Ezreal. So most of the time, if Ezreal isn't leveled up by this point in the game, then Riptide Rex kind of tops him off. So there you go. There's a lot of synergies within this deck that it really takes like a couple games to really understand the inner workings. This is one of the more difficult decks to pilot, but it's also really, really rewarding if you do master it. So keep in mind, I wanted to provide a good foundation for the deck. I encourage players to mess with the numbers and put in whatever little twists they like. And that about wraps it up for the deck profile. Now here's a live commentary game so you can see how the deck plays out. I'll be giving context on why I'm playing certain cards, and hopefully it gives you a good feel on how to play the deck. Alright. Looks like we're against a really aggressive Lucian Kalista strategy. This deck usually tries to spam out a bunch of early units, so I need my removal. Take out Pilfer, keep Static Shock, and Jagged Butcher and Petty Officer provide good board control, so keep them. Let's play Butcher on 1. Nice. This deck often passes turn 2 because it doesn't have the best turn 2 units. Like, I'm not going to play Black Market Merchant without his shenanigans. That's fine. Passing turn 2 is really good though, because then I always have Make It Rain or Mystic Shot mana. Two Make It Rain is really good against this deck.
I'm what nightmares fear.
Alright, so we'll play Petty Officer here, summoning a 1 cost. It's a really good chump blocker.
Purity and peace.
Sweet. That's why Petty Officer is insane. 2 HP on top of summoning a free 1 cost, that's just too much. Alright, we can make it rain. It's probably make it rain and then Black Market Merchant since it's going to hit Nexus. Is it second glimpse? It is second glimpse. Okay. I'm going to make it rain a second time then. This not only denies the glimpse, but it also finishes off Senna. And then we'll play Black Market Merchant. Probably attack first though, right? No. Yeah, let's play. Rekindler's pretty good, especially with the discount. Now if like Ezreal or TF dies, I just get another one back. This deck is really good against spiders. 1 HP is like death. Play Ezreal here.
Time for a true display of skill.
If he saves 3 mana, then he probably has Black Spear, so I'm actually not going to kill off the spider. Alright, this works. Honestly, this is probably make it rain again. There's a lot of 1 HP targets that I can hit.
The guru follows. You poor thing.
Okay, protects Ezreal and kills off those 2, that's fine. That's also 3 targets for Ez, so I'm in a really good spot in terms of his level up. Oh, another. This is crazy. Alright, let's hit.
If you could back it up. Can't
Bop.
stop me.
What's that noise?
Okay, we'll Static Shock here and here. And then we'll use our Fleeting Mystic Shot on something. And it will finally level up Ezreal. Turn 6? Turn 6 level up is really fast actually.
Feed Demacia.
We'll kill off the Spiderling.
Charge. Check me out.
It's absolutely crazy. I have another Ezreal and a Rekindler on top of this. And he's basically out of resources because I removed them all.
Making the dead deader.
Senna is A-okay, because I have Mystic Shot.
Fight on.
Now every time I cast a spell, Ezreal's gonna try to win me the game.
I made it myself.
Nice. I mean, I'll take 2. No biggie. Okay. Now this turn we probably Collector and Yordle Grifter. Yep, that's pretty much over. Because I can play Grifter, attack with Ezreal, he gets 2, then I get another Mystic Shot plus Warning Shot is 2, 4, 5 damage, like, it's just over. Like, this deck is so good against aggro decks. Like, it just destroys spiders, it destroys Callista, it destroys Basilisk. Like, it's just so good. And that's it for this one. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out since I'm still trying to grow. I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, gameplay highlights, and even the 101 series in the near future. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck in your climb. I hope these decks that I'm profiling help you out. And have a good one. Laters.